Hi, I'm Paige Bartholomew, and I'd like to talk to you today about darkness. I'd like to talk about the ways that we become so afraid of darkness in this world and in our lives, and how we give our power away because of our fear and move into a state of victimhood. The universe is a hologram. That means that every part of it exists within every other part of it. There is nothing that is separate. There is nothing that is unique. There is only one thing here. Everything that we perceive outside of us also exists inside of us. If it didn't exist inside me, I wouldn't be able to perceive it outside of me. I hear people saying that often, that they're afraid of evil forces that might be able to leak in or attack them or, somehow affect them without them being able to protect themselves. And what I'd like to say about this is that every single experience we have is happening because we have a part in it. When we change our insides to not have a receptor to evil, the evil doesn't come around anymore. It's like it just doesn't become attracted. Dark energies are attracted to fear the way flies are attracted to honey. They can smell it, they can sense it, and they love it. So if you are noticing that you're feeling fear about some evil coming towards you or being able to get you, and I understand this fear, it's very real fear for people, and I've struggled with it for many years myself. There's no judgment about this. But when we notice that there is fear arising, that's where we need to do our work. We need to handle our fear. We need to become the keeper of our own frequency. And I borrowed that thought from a beautiful, beautiful writer who you can probably find on the internet, named Meredith Murphy. Meredith Murphy. She talks about being the keeper of your own frequency. Be the keeper of the collective frequency. What would it be like if I chose to be the keeper of the frequency? How would I behave? How would I behave differently? What kind of a standard might I hold myself to? Now, I'm not talking about the kind of standard where you get your baseball bat out. I'm talking about the kind of standard that I allow myself to step into. If I'm the keeper of the collective frequency, that means I have a responsibility to myself and to all the beloved people all over the world to hold and maintain a high frequency that does not allow fear to enter in. Now, we're not going to be perfect at doing that, but we can hold it as something we'd like to achieve, something we'd like to do most of the time, as an intention. So I would just like to reiterate that the fear that arises inside of us is actually the problem. It is attracting negativity to us. The fear we have inside of us is what is attracting the negativity in the world. I don't want to go so far as to say it's causing it, but if we didn't feel the fear inside, let me say it this way. The fear is an indicator that I have a receptor. If I'm feeling afraid of something, that means I have a receptor to darkness. And what is darkness? It's just where the light's not shining. It's just where the truth has been forgotten. So any darkness that I see all over the world, If I see darkness, if I see negativity, if I see, lack of love, it's just places where people have forgotten the truth. And from that place, maybe it's just not so scary after all. If I'm dealing with, I'm going to go out on a limb here and talk about negative energies and even negative entities, because I know that many of you experience this and struggle with it. If you are sensing a negative entity that you perceive wants to hurt you or somehow has it out for you, try to remember in that moment that the only reason that entity is negative in the first place is because it's forgotten the truth. Now, when we put it in that perspective, we begin to feel some compassion for this scary entity, don't we? What once was a terrifying monster coming out of the dark closet and scaring us in the night is now someone that maybe we can say, wow, you're really hurting. I feel compassion for you. And you can that literally shifts the energy from victimhood to empowerment. And this is what we want to do. Fear causes us to feel disempowered. It causes us to move into victimhood. When we take the fear and move it slightly into the very next level up, move it into compassion, move it into concern for this darkness. Now we've taken the fire out of it. Now we've taken all the danger out of it. I'm not so scared anymore, and I'm not a victim anymore. Now the darkness is who I feel sorry for, right? Now the people who are behaving poorly in the world and making poor choices that are hurtful to others, now I feel sorry for them, not afraid of them. We must begin to take responsibility for our internal state. We must not allow ourselves to move into victimhood, because then all of our power is gone. We must learn to work with the fear and understand what darkness actually is. It's a sad little child that's crying out for love. And it doesn't matter if you're talking to a negative entity or if you're talking to a terrorist or if you're talking to your mean, aggressive neighbor. All of these people are looking for love. And when we begin to see them through that light, through those eyes, we move out of victimhood and we move into a place of empowerment. And we move into a place where we can actually make a difference. Because when we can give love to these beings, entities, and neighbors who are so desperately crying, it will change them. Love can't not have an effect. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Remember what darkness actually is. It's just a small child crying out for your love. Find a place where you can give it love, and then you don't have to be scared. There is no force in the universe that can hurt you. There is no force in the universe that can hurt you. You are not a victim, and neither am I. This was probably the most profound lesson that I have ever learned in my lifetime. When I finally got it, that no one has the power to actually hurt me, that dark entities do not have any power over me. In fact, they're like scared little dogs running with their tail between their legs. Once they realize that all I want to do is love them, it disarms everything. Love disarms all darkness. So Don't be afraid. I am your sister. I am here, for real, for you. We are strong together. I love you. Please reach to me if you'd like on my Facebook page at facebook.com/therevolutionofevolution.